Christian Hannahor here today, guys. We're doing a review of, you probably called it, Shocker. Before I get started, I do want to talk about the soundtrack to this, because I just want to get it out of the way, because I'm going to fanboy for a minute. All my favorite musicians were in this. Alice Cooper, Paul Stanley, just, Megadeth. The soundtrack is awesome. So let me get that away. That little intro music bit in this video, that was me covering the Shockers theme that Paul Stanley and Desmond Child made. Oh, kick-ass tune. I can't tell you enough. That's a kick-ass album. I want to get the Shocker album. I put it on my phone, but I want to get the vinyl of it one day. Anyway, alright, let's talk about Shocker. Once again, if Christian Hannahor style review, I'm not going to tell you this is the plot. Most of you have already seen it. For those who haven't seen it, maybe you don't want to know. So we're going to stick with tradition. I'm just going to tell you what I think about the movie. As I've said, if you watched the previous video, I did not remember having the greatest, thoughts about this movie. But like I said, I was in a different place at the time, and you know how that goes. So I rewatched it, and my opinion of it couldn't be more of a 180. This is a kick-ass Wes Craven film. To me, there's 2 or 3 types of Wes Craven films. There's the really creepy, artsy Wes Craven films. There's just the really artsy Wes Craven films. And there's kick-ass Wes Craven films. This is a kick-ass Wes Craven film. An example of what I mean is, I think Serpent and the Rainbow is a creepy, artsy type Wes Craven film. Or just an artsy type Wes Craven film would be, to me, like Deadly Blessing, which I'm not really a big fan of that movie, but I see what he's trying to do. And then he makes kick-ass horror movies. This is a kick-ass horror movie. The guy who played we'll call him the Shocker. I forget his name and what his character's name was. He was a bad son of a gun in this movie. He was really awesome. Great job. The cast was great. The cast was great all the way around. Great acting, great characters, great writing, awesome. Horace Pinker is his name. I saw this on the back. Obviously, as you can see, this is a Scream Factory release of this movie. This was one of those movies where you start watching it and you hear about it and you're searching 80s gems and 80s horror movies if you're a fan of it to watch. This was one of those movies that as soon as you start watching it, you say, okay, this is going to be one of those classics, and I'm just going to say, okay, I love this movie, and that's how I felt when I watched this again for my second time. Just fun and really kick-ass. Really just kick-ass. There's only one small complaint I have about it, and this is it. Some of you may agree, some of you may think I'm completely wrong, and that's totally fine. My only tiny complaint about this was I felt it was just a hair long. I see that the running time on here is 110 minutes. I think if you could have trimmed out maybe 5 or 10 minutes out of this movie, to me it would have been a 10 out of 10 movie. Or a 5 out of 5 movie. I felt it was just a little bit too long. It just kind of felt like that to me. Now, on the plus side to that, I don't feel that really much of this movie had any filler. It was all killer, if you know what I mean. Like, none of the scenes were just, we gotta keep this movie going a little bit longer. Let's just put something in. I didn't feel like that was happening anywhere in the movie. I felt everything had a good purpose and everything kept the story moving, but it just felt a little too long to me. So, that's really my only complaint about it. Other than that, this movie's kick-ass. So, if you haven't seen Shocker, you gotta check it out. It's a kick-ass movie. This is a Scream Factory release, obviously, like we said, so you can go pick this up at Scream Factory. Great special features on it. This is probably the best way to watch this movie nowadays besides Laserdisc. No, I'm not that jaded, but I do love Laserdisc. This is the best way to watch this movie. Yeah, this is Shocker. Love it. It's now one of my favorites. Kick-ass movie. Excellent, excellent soundtrack. Check it out if you haven't seen it.